As we look back at the 1980s and 1990s, the Stanley Cup runs for several teams, especially the Montreal Canadiens, there are certain players that played a factor with them winning a title in 86, winning a title in 93, and not winning a title in 91 and 92. Now, this skater was not a Montreal Canadiens draft pick, but when he was traded to Montreal in the early 90s, for of all people, Claude Lemieux, a lot of Montreal fans said, we're going to win the cup with this guy. He's the piece that we need. And Montreal did win a cup in 93, but he was long gone by then to, of all people, the Ottawa Senators in their inaugural season. Now, in 1986, this guy was within one game pretty well Hartford winning the cup, and I tell you why. He was not available for the 7th game for Hartford against Montreal, the Claude Lemieux overtime game that threw Montreal in the semifinals against the Rangers. They wanted to beat Calgary. I think if Hartford would have won that series, they would have won the cup. And this player not being there for Game 7 cost Hartford the cup, because I think he would have skated. He would have probably scored at least one goal in regulation, would have gave Hartford a victory. So today we're talking about probably one of the better players ever to come out the great Quebec community of Noranda, Sylvain Turgeon. Now, of course, Sylvain is the talented brother of the immensely talented Pierre Turgeon, which was a Montreal Canadiens captain for a short while. Born in Noranda, Quebec, January 7th, 1965, he was taken number 2 overall by the Hartford Whalers in the 1983 draft. Now, he came to major prominence playing for Bourassa of the Quebec AAA League, 78 points in 43 games, and 2 seasons with Hull back-to-back. 236 combined points his draft year. He had 54 goals, 109 assists for 163 points. Now, a lot of awards before he hit to the NHL. He was on Team Canada's World Junior Victor in 83, bronze medal victor in 83. He was named the best professional prospect in the QMJHL in 83, a co-winner. He won the QMJHL Instructors Trophy as Offensive Rookie of the Year in 82. He was a QMJHL All-Star First Team in 83 for Hull, and on the third team in 82. Now, entering the draft, he was ranked number 4 by Central Scouting and number 6 by the Hockey News. Now, he also finished 4th in the QMJHL's scoring race, 163 points, leading the team. Now, he also skated at center besides skating on the left wing. Now, he was also Hull's first-round pick, number 2 overall, in the 81 QMJHL entry midget draft. Now, he debuted for Hartford on October 5th, 1983, wearing his famous number 16. Now, that was a good campaign for Sylvain. He put up dynamite numbers. He scored 40 goals as a rookie for the Whalers in 84. And he also established career highs of 45 goals and 34 assists for 79 points for the Whalers in the 86 season, which led to them playing Montreal in that famous 7-game series. But unfortunately, a recurrent abdominal injury really played havoc with his career, ladies and gentlemen. Now, in 84 in Hartford, he was on the all-rookie team and made the all-star team in 86 as a replacement for Ron Francis. Again, he holds the Hartford Carolina record for most points by a rookie in one season, with 72. Most goals by a rookie in one season, 40 in 84. And the fastest 2 goals by one player, 6 seconds between the 13:59 and 14:05 mark of the second period in the game against Pittsburgh, on March 28, 87. He led Hartford in points in 86 and was goals leader for Hartford in 84 with 40, 85 with 31, and 86 with 45. He also led Ottawa in goals with 25 in their expansion year. Now, he is the highest drafted player overall in Hartford, Carolina history. And on Hartford, he played with a great line with Mark Johnson and Ray Neufeld in 1983-84. Now, he scored 18 of those goals in his rookie campaign on the power play. He had 238 shots on goal as a rookie in 84 to lead all first years. Unfortunately, again, He started missing time in 85 with a pulled abdominal muscle, an injury suffered during Hartford's November 2nd, 84 loss game at Buffalo. He did not return to action until 5 weeks later. Now, he started playing on the Francis Denis line and put up some tremendous numbers to our number one unit. And when he replaced Francis, it was almost like one cog for another cog. Now, he set Hartford the single-season record since broken for goals by a left wing with 45 and 86. He also scored in overtime to give Hartford Carolina its first postseason win in Game 1 of Hartford's first-round series against Quebec on April 9th, 86. Now, it was also his first career NHL playoff game. He also missed the end of the 86 playoffs, like I said, with the re-aggravation of that abdominal muscles injury suffered during Game 6 of Hartford's second-round playoff series versus Montreal on April 27th, 86. Hartford won that game, but Game 7, again, he really missed him. And it cost really Hartford the cup. Now, he missed most of Hartford's 86 training camp in first half of 87, again, with a pulled abdominal muscle from that lingering injury. Now, on October 20, 86, they found the reason, as doctors found a small hernia in his abdominal wall, and Turgeon required extensive surgery on November 14th of that year. He did not make his 87 debut until January 9th. Now, he also became part of the highest drafted brother combination in 87 when Pierre was taken first overall by Buffalo. Now, he missed the 87 Canada Cup and start of Hartford's training camp in a unique situation with a broken left arm, suffered when he was slashed by Ron Extall in Team Canada practice on August 11th, 87. He also missed part of 88 with a bruised ankle, suffered during Hartford's February 25th game at Boston. He also missed part of Hartford's 88 training camp with a sprained right knee, an injury suffered in September of 88. Now, he also missed half of the 89 season with a separated left shoulder, an injury suffered during Hartford's game December 21st, 88 versus Boston. Now, during this time, he also suffered a unique injury called welder's burns in both eyes when he stared at the ultraviolet light produced by his blowtorch while working on his car on February 28, 89. He finally returned for Hartford's March 14, 89 game versus the Islanders, scoring 2 goals, including the game winner. Now, when he ended up in New Jersey, he traded for Pat Verbeek. He played on a line with Kirk Muller and Aaron Broughton, and Kirk Muller and Mark Johnson for a short time. Unfortunately, injured again, missed the remainder of the 90 season and the start of the 90 playoffs with a pulled groin, an injury suffered during a March 20th game versus Philly. He did not return to action until Game 6 of New Jersey's first-round series at Washington. Now, after being traded to Montreal for all people, Claude Lemieux, he missed Montreal's 1990 training camp and started the season while recovering from hernia surgery performed on August 23, 1990. He did not make his 91 season debut until December 15th, 1990 game at Winnipeg. Now, his line mates were all people, Denny Savard and Stéphane Richer in 91. Unfortunately, he also missed the remainder of the 91 regular season when he broke his right kneecap, an injury suffered during Montreal's February 6, 91 game versus Chicago. He did not return to action until Game 2 of Montreal's second-round series at Boston on April 19th, and we all know Boston knocked off Montreal in that series. Now, for some bizarre reason, he was left unprotected by Montreal for the 92 NHL expansion draft and was claimed by Ottawa on June 18th as the first forward they had taken in the expansion. Now, he scored the first game winner in Ottawa Center's expansion history at 17:51 in the third period on October 8, 92, but from then on, Ottawa lost 70 games. Now, he's eventually suspended by the NHL for one game in 93 for receiving 2 stick-related penalties, a slashing major, and a game misconduct during Ottawa's October 22nd, 92 game versus the old squad, Hartford. Now, he also missed part of the 93 season with a groin injury, suffered in Ottawa's February 9th, 93 game in Philadelphia, and also re-aggravated that during a February 17th, 93 game in Quebec. He did not return to action until a game against Boston on March 18th, 93. Injuries keep on going. He missed half of the 94 season with a broken bone, his lower left arm. Suffered while sitting on the bench when his arm got caught in a collision between Gary Valk and teammate Dennis Vial during Ottawa's October 25th 93 game versus Anaheim. He did not return to action until Ottawa's January 10th 94 game versus the Islanders. Now he decided to play out his option in Ottawa in 95, but re-signed a one-year $425,000 contract with the Senators in August 95 and reported to training camp. However, he failed to make Ottawa's roster and was put on waivers. After clearing waivers, he was demoted to the minors on September 26, 1995. He eventually spent the season with Houston of the IHL, but was unable to win an NHL contract the following year. He then left North America during the summer of 96 to continue his career in Europe. And in Europe, he put up, with the abdominal injury pretty well healed, he put up some decent numbers in numerous leagues, including the DAL, the Italy League, and anyway, a very, very strong career in Europe with Bolzano, the Red Mark Scorpions, EHC Olten, the Revier Lowen Oberhausen, SC Harasso, SC Lagno, the Kassel Huskies, and HC Thurgo. So with the DAL, put up some decent numbers. One season of 32 goals, 181 games, 83 goals, 54 assists for 137 points. And the final NHL totals easily could have played 1,000 games in NHL, but recurring injuries and bad luck, 269 goals, 226 assists for 495 points, and 11 points in 36 playoff games, including 4 goals. So as it stands out, ladies and gentlemen, NHL history was changed quite a bit by him. 93, Montreal won the cup mainly because they couldn't depend on Turgeon enough. The previous 2 years, they brought up all these young players. The Claude Lemieux trade to New Jersey eventually led to Claude Lemieux winning a Stanley Cup, being the Conn Smythe Duel winner. Hartford's success and getting away from being an also-ran was due to him, and by the 86 playoffs, again, David easily could have won the cup that year. I watched the whole series, and Turgeon was driving everybody nuts. But you got to look at this, ladies and gentlemen. When he was healthy, 40, 31, 45, 23, 23, 16, and 30 goals. Then the 25 with Ottawa. But even that season with the Arrows, ladies and gentlemen, he put up some decent numbers. He could score, and he wasn't scared to take a penalty as well there, ladies and gentlemen. But you know, it's kind of bizarre, ladies and gentlemen. The stats don't tell that old story. That 9 games he played in the playoffs in 86, and the 7 games against Montreal, or the 6 games against Montreal, like I said, didn't tell the old story. I think it was a game 4 or game 6 where Hartford really needed to bring it up. And they had a good team that year, ladies and gentlemen. Ron Francis was that leader, and let me tell you, they came that close. And maybe that's why the franchise eventually moved, because when you get a chance to be that close with a Stanley Cup and you lose, it wears heavy. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the legend of Sylvain Turgeon. Sylvain has my respect because extremely smooth player, the closest player I've seen, because the size was there, ladies and gentlemen. 6 feet 190. It was sort of a combination of Mike Gartner, Gilmore, and a little bit of Steve Shutt. Great shot, great playmaker. And, I miss him in the NHL because seeing the French media salivate over Sylvain and then Pierre, that the time of the egotistical Quebec hockey, writer about these French stars with English teams is way long gone. But Sylvain was loved in the Hartford media, and if you check out YouTube, you know what I'm talking about. So if you like what we're doing here, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget, requests are always encouraged and highly considered. Have a great day. Bye.